Hey guys, Antonio Calabrese with GHacks Marketing, and today I want to cover a topic that I get asked almost every single time when I'm working with a client, and that is what type of digital marketing strategy should be employed. Because we know that there's many different options out there, right? There's SEO, search engine optimization, there's Google ads, there's Facebook ads, there's Instagram ads, there's YouTube ads. There's all of these different ways to where you can try to reach people online. And they're not all created the same, because if you're trying to target one specific type of person, you really want to focus on a specific strategy. Or if you have some type of offer or product or service that you're offering, you may need to use one of these different strategies depending on what that looks like. So what I want to do is just kind of run through this briefly, just as I would with one of my clients, to really kind of give them that understanding of what tactic they should use and when. So what we want to first understand is that there's really three main audiences that we want to look at. And audience one is going to be a fairly small audience, but these are people who are ready to buy. Okay, so they understand what your product or service is, and they're actively online looking to find someone who can solve that problem that they have with whatever that product or service is. Okay, so but this is going to be a very small subset of people who are ready to buy. The second is going to be a slightly larger audience group, and we're going to call these people aware. Okay, so these people, although they're not ready to buy right now, or they may not be actively looking for the product or service that you offer, they are aware of what you offer. And if you target them correctly, you may be able to get them to buy, even though it's not top of mind and they're not actively looking to buy what it is that you are offering. And then the last group, which is going to be the largest group of people, we'll put multiple people in here, we'll just put two in here, is going to be the cold audience. And the cold audience, although it's the largest audience, it's going to be the hardest to bring into your sales cycle, because they don't know who you are, and they may not even know fully about the product or service that you're offering, so there may be some education involved there. So keep in mind that these are going to be the three audience types that we're looking at, and then comparing those to the different types of strategies that we have to employ from a digital marketing standpoint. So we have the ready to buy, we have the aware, and then we have the cold audience. Now let's look at what types of strategies that we can employ, right? So we have SEO, or search engine optimization. We have Google ads. And then over here I'm going to put Facebook ads, Instagram ads. We could do LinkedIn ads, even though I think LinkedIn ads are always incredibly expensive and I don't use them. Twitter, etc. All right, so these are more targeted type ads. And then these are served up based on keywords, right? Different types of searches, right? You go to Google, you type a keyword in, some type of search, you're going to find the optimized sites at the top, and then you're also going to find those Google ads up at the top, because those are being served based on those keywords. Now, these are always strategies that people are asking me, hey, should I do SEO? Should I run Google ads? Should I run Facebook ads? How do I know which ones to run based on my offering, or based on who I plan to target? And the general rule of thumb is that if you are targeting people who are ready to buy, you want to focus over here. Ready to buy. We're going to do SEO and Google ads. Why is that? Because if they're ready to buy, they're online actively searching for what it is that you're offering. So they're going to go to Google and they're going to type in a keyword or a key phrase, whatever it may be, or a question. And if you can optimize your site enough to be in the top 3 spots, everything below that doesn't get a ton of traffic, so you always want to try to get to the top 3. That's where you're going to focus on SEO. So that you can start to bring in these people as they're online searching. If you're not being found online through search organically, then you can also do Google AdWords, because that's also going to get you to the top of the page based on the keyword being searched, but you're just going to have to pay for that. Now, what I typically tell people is that if you're not optimized, right? So if you're not showing up at the top, and if you can afford it and you have the budget to use, you want to do both of these at the same time until you get your site fully optimized. Then you can kind of scale back on the Google Ads a bit, unless your market is super competitive and you want to just really dominate that space and you have the budget for it, then you continue running those. But typically what I'll tell people to do is run Google Ads, because you can see immediate results. You launch a Google ad, someone types in a keyword, you show up, boom, they land on your landing page. You can start making sales immediately. SEO, depending on your industry, your location, and where you currently stand in Google rankings, could be a very long process with a pretty hefty investment. You could be looking at months to over a year just to start to show up on page one. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into that, so there's not one clear, cut, dry answer to how long it's going to take. But the reason I'm telling you that, because let's say that we estimate that this is going to be a 6-month strategy for you to get any type of decent rankings. Well, you can't go 6 months just dumping money into a strategy and not getting anything back, right? That doesn't seem to make a lot of business sense up front until you get there, and then those rewards start just coming in all the time because you're being found organically. But what you do in the meantime to supplement is you also run Google Ads to start getting that instant gratification from sales coming in right away. So just to give you a quick example, let's say you had, a $3,000 monthly budget. Instead of just putting all of that into SEO, what you could do is kind of scale that back and might bring this out to an 8-month time period. But you could split this up half and half, 1,500, 1,500, so that although this is going to take longer now because your budget has decreased, at least you're going to start bringing in more sales. And if you can be pretty profitable on these, you can start to dump the profit back in to the SEO to accelerate that growth. But again, that's really the strategy when you're targeting people who are ready to buy. Now, if you want to start to reach out into these larger audience groups, right? Because again, ready to buy is a very small subset of people. There's many more people out there that you can begin to target, but you're not going to get them through SEO or Google Ads. And then that's where these targeted ads are going to start coming into play. Now, obviously, the aware stage audience is going to be the easier one to target. And again, these are going to work somewhat similar to Google Ads, is that they can be fairly instant, but the targeting is going to be different. It's not going to be based on keywords. It's going to be based on a lot of different factors that are put into Facebook profiles, for example. So if you're trying to target, realtors, for example, you can say, I want to target realtors, people who have the job title realtor. Or if you want to target people within a 10-mile radius of your business location, you can do that. So just to give you an example, let's run with that, is let's say that you are a hair salon and you're offering a promotion to get in new clients to your hair salon. Now, you could come over here and run Google Ads, but you're only going to get people who are actively looking for a new hairstylist, right? Probably going to be a low amount of volume. Now, if you run a Facebook ad and target people who are on the aware stage, right? They're aware of what your business does. They're aware of hairstyling services, but maybe they're not actively looking to buy. But if you run a targeted Facebook ad to a 10-mile radius around your business, and you're saying, hey, we're offering 15% off first-time service for new customers, and these people start to say and see that ad, then they're going to maybe buy from you at that point. So that's a way that you can start to pull people in from the aware stage. And the same thing with cold audience as well. You just may take multiple hits of your ad in order to start to get them coming in to your funnel, right? So this person may see the ad once and buy. This person, you may need to serve up that ad multiple times through retargeting, etc. That's why this traffic is always more expensive to acquire. Now, I just mentioned funnel, and if you haven't seen my previous video on funnels, sales funnels, this all kind of goes right into play with it. This is really the entry level, because if we look at the funnel, right, this is your sales funnel, everything that we're putting into the top of the funnel is being driven by these marketing strategies. Okay, these are all the driving force of getting people into the funnel. And then depending on what type of stage they're in, these people might go right to the bottom immediately. The aware audience may go towards the middle, and the cold, you may have to nurture a bit longer in order to get them to become a paying customer. But at the end of the day, that's what all this comes down to, is you find the type of people that you're looking to market to, you figure out which strategy is going to be the best based on that audience type, and then you use these strategies to connect with them, put them into the funnel, and then nurture them all the way until they become a customer. So hopefully that gives you I know this is a little bit of a mess now, but hopefully that gives you a better picture and understanding of when you should be using different types of marketing strategies, and then again ultimately leading that into that funnel, which I'll post a link to that video as well if you didn't see that one, so that would actually be kind of part 2 to this video when we talk about funnels and some basic strategies behind that. So make sure you check that video out as well if you haven't. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, just comment below and I'd be happy to answer them. Until next time.